Vitamin D proved to be a very popular topic. We had the largest online audience that we've had so far. This is an issue that concerns people around the world. We were able to bring together experts. We had them comment on the recent recommendations by the Institute of Medicine. There were a lot of disagreements.
We brought the school in the middle of that controversy, but it was important for something that this significant to know that the decisions that have to be made are not completely agreed upon, and it's going to vary by all these circumstances.
First, I'd like to add my words of welcome and thank the forum organizers for inviting me to be here. I think it's very important for everyone to understand that the Institute of Medicine Committee did a comprehensive and rigorous review of the evidence for both bone health and non-skeletal outcomes, the relationship to vitamin D. Close to 1,000 studies were evaluated, and the committee did conclude that there was compelling evidence that vitamin D has a role in maintaining bone health, and the recommended dietary allowances were based primarily on bone health.
I do take issue with several of the key tenets put forward in the report, specifically the choice of 20 nanograms per mil as the blood level of vitamin D that is associated with the optimum intake. I believe that the evidence supports very strongly a higher figure of 30 nanograms per mil based on the amount of D needed and the circulating level needed to lower risk of hip fracture.
And I'd like to point out that even if you take the IOM very low bar, which I disagree with, of 20, there's still in that report, 11% of the European American population, 54% of the African American population below that level. And that's tens of millions of Americans below that level. And to ignore them and say it's no problem is a big mistake.
My question to you is, if you were in charge of implementing public health policies in school districts, what is one message that you should be given to the schools and to parents about vitamin D?
Well, first, I think it's very important to understand the dietary sources of vitamin D. So the key dietary sources would be the fortified dairy products, fortified cereals and juices, and fatty fish. There is some vitamin D in eggs, but those are the main dietary sources. Also mushrooms, some forms of mushrooms. So
kids probably won't be getting much from the mushrooms.
Right, exactly. We're not recommending increasing sun exposure for the purpose of getting adequate vitamin D, because for someone who doesn't get enough, it is possible to take a supplement without the risk of skin cancer.
The issue of sunscreen is a very good issue. We don't have a lot of data. It's one of the areas where we need further research.
We are also providing online resources for people to look at to discover whether they are in a risk group and what other information they might need to make a decision about the level of vitamin D that would be good for them or for their family.